this, constant wanting to prove that we are really humans to people who used to eat us. So yesterday, I saw a video on here where this guy was reacting to the fact that there are some people on Twitter right now, as we speak, who are presently categorizing human beings based on the race and saying that because we all look differently from one another, that we are not the same species. So they are basically doing what we do with animals, right? Categorize them based on, their various species. They are doing that with human beings right now on Twitter. Check out my earring. I just got it, and oh my goodness, I love it. So these people have been racist on Twitter, but they are trying to use science or something, I don't know, to justify their racism, or use science to back their racism. I don't know, I want to say a word, I'm English, sue me, right? They are on there acting like they are on some scientific journey, going hard on and in depth with their racism in broad daylight. Not that I'm shocked or anything, because I'm not. I've accepted these people for who they are. I'm at a point where nothing they do can shock me anymore, because I'm like, yeah, that's on brand. Like, these people are so serious about what they're doing, they even have pictorial display. They're like, this is for the slow learners in the back. Since people are so dumb, people don't understand what we're saying. Look at pictures, there's evidence, Look at the pictures and learn. So what these people are doing is this. They had this tabular display of animals. Although their table had, more columns, but this is what we are working with right now to explain. So what these people did is they arranged various species of animals on their table. But then they arrange them in subcategories still across the various horizontal bars, right, or columns. So this is what I mean. They'll go to this very first, column here, this very first one, and then they'll put tigers. But then the tigers across the horizontal columns, each bar would not be the same kind of tiger. They would all be subspecies of tigers. Then they would go to the next, and then they'll do the exact same thing, but this time like with wolves. And then they go to the next like this, and then they will arrange their fox, but then they'll put different subspecies of foxes, and they all won't look alike, but you can tell it's a fox, but all the foxes are not the same kind of foxes. Then they'll go to the next one. They go to the next one, and then they arrange cats. They go to the next one, and then they arrange birds. And then when they got to the very last bars on the table, they arrange humans there exactly how they did with the animals. So just like they arrange the animals according to their subspecies, they did that with humans according to race. First of all, I won't lie, when I saw the whole pictorial thing they had going, as someone who studied educational management and economics, but now focusing on the educational management part, I'm like, this is interesting, because when we were in school, they taught us how to use instructional aids to teach effectively in class. I'm like, they came prepared for this lesson. I mean, they're being racist, but they came prepared for the lesson. They have instructional aids. Let's be for real. I know these people's opinion and this conclusion they are coming to, and all these things they are doing right now, they are doing it because of their racism, right? And it's insane. But if you want to tell me that I am not part of your group, if you want to even come and tell me that, oh, you don't even consider me human, I am not even going to argue with you. You know why? Because I'm starting to look at this human title that all of us have, and I'm really side-eyeing it. The people who came up with, what it means to be human and all of that, what did they go to do? Now you're telling me that I should force myself to categorize myself with these people and cry because these people are saying that they don't consider me to be part of their group. If humans are doing this, I want no part of that title. So when you come on Twitter and you create these subcategories and you do all of this extreme racist stuff, I'm like, I'm not pissed. I just look at it and I go, okay, so I'm not part of your group. That's fine. That's fine. And I just wish all Africans can get to this point as well. Like, honestly, I wish we all can get to this point. Because this, constant wanting to prove that we are really humans to people who used to eat us. Let's talk about it, okay? Like, why are we fighting to share a title with... So maybe we should leave the title humanity for them and stick to, our titles like Ubuntu. Let's stick with our own titles and let them have it. Just leave it for them. Because are we that mad at not being the same kind of human as them? I would argue that based on their mutated gene that atrophied their oxytocin receptors, we are in fact not the same.
If you had unlimited funding for any science mission or project, what would you do?
As an African and as a Bantu scientist, the research project that I would love to conduct is for us to definitively find out if white people actually have souls. Now, guys, please don't be weird and think this is about race or black supremacy. No, this is about the correlation between genetics and human behavior. Did you know that scientists and philosophers have always theorized that the pineal gland is where the soul lives and it's where all our thoughts and decisions are formed? Let me repeat. The pineal gland is where all our thoughts and decisions are formed. It is where the soul lives. So, people, tell me why 80% of your pineal gland is calcified and doesn't work. 80% of the thing that controls your thoughts, decisions, and behavior does not work. And me being a Bantu scientist, the way I'm choosing to understand this is that 80% of your soul doesn't work. If you have one at all, that is. Because as an African, that's the only way I can make sense of people's collective barbaric behavior throughout the centuries. There has not been a time in human history where white people haven't been a cancer of destruction and terror on this earth. Why? They do not have souls. Well, at least that's what I want the research to say.
And also because according to them and their science, they have Neanderthal DNA. And we don't. Okay? This is them and their science saying this. Check out this article. Europeans looked down on Neanderthals until they realized they shared their DNA. According to recent findings, the purest of so-called humans on the face of the earth are Africans, because we don't have this DNA. But isn't it interesting how they tagged us as 3/5 of a man? When you really start to pay attention to what exactly is going on here, and you start peeling it all back, you start to see the bullshit. And you would also start to see that there is a gross level of projection going on here. These people have certain parts of them that they hate so much, but unfortunately cannot run away from because it's in the DNA, right? You can't run away from your DNA. So, because they hate this part so much and inherently see themselves as less than because, they're diluted with this, they project that onto other people. They come and tell you, you are the one who is less than a man. You are 3/5 of a man. They come and tell you, you are inferior. And this is the same reason why you see them tagging themselves as the superior race. If you are truly superior, you would not have to tell us. We would see it. Okay? Because they inherently feel less than, they don't want you to know that. It's an insecurity. So what do? They go at you first. It's like bullying tactic. They go at you and pick at you and tag you all of these things that they are feeling about themselves. Because deep down they feel like shit. They try to make you feel like shit, in hopes that making you feel like it will make them feel better about themselves. All of this is just one very big ball of projection. And I think that's why they were fighting so hard the past 400 plus years to own the title humanity, make it for themselves. They were fighting so hard to put themselves up there because they figured it out that we are really not the ish. But we want to be the ish, though, the main ish. So let's fight and see if we can, you know, systematically make us the ish, because biologically we are seeing that we are not. So they were fighting so hard for this humanity title, you know, trying to decide who can be part of it, who is and who isn't human. And in an attempt to, you know, own this title so much and make themselves superior, they go to still do other, you know, very heinous things. This is why when them folks come out and say, oh, you are not really human, I don't get offended. I'm like, keep that title. Keep it. So they have been telling us for generations upon generations that we are not the same. And I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, you are right. We are not. I agree with them now. So fighting for the title human, nah, you won't find Ivie doing that. And it would be nice if other Africans stop fighting for that title as well. Like I said in the video, the video where this comment is coming from, probably we should start, you know, sticking with our own titles, like Ubuntu. Yeah. And leave their humanity for them. Because at this point, you want to lump me with Christopher Columbus? No, don't do that. Just look at me on here talking about all of this ish, but I did not even button my shirt right. And I'm just noticing at the end of the video. Wow.